Welcome back to the Starladder I-League Star Series Finals, and we're here for Alliance taking on Evil Geniuses. With me, Winter is back, K-Pop is of course still with me, and we are actually going to talk about this matchup at the same time as the draft is going on, because apparently, who needs a lunch break? We can eat at our computers, we can eat at our desks, we're fine. That's what EG is going for here, and we are well in the draft already, and EG went for Earth Spirit as well as Lone Druid here, so Alliance started with the Death Prophet and the IO, and I want to point out that EG kind of denied them the Lone Druid, so there's that.
They did. I think EG's Lone Druid is very strong. We saw a lot of teams in America picking up the Lone Druid, and I think it works great. RTZ has a great Lone Druid. It works on a lot of lanes, and I think they'll do super well. But before we get super into the draft, let's talk about our situation.
Oh, yeah.
Which is that this game actually doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, the game does matter. Because it is still very important to know who is second and who is third in the group.
But both of these teams are actually going into the playoffs. Alliance, even with a loss, will be 2 and 3. The way that the Starladder tiebreakers work is very similar to, or exactly the same as how the Majors and TI works. That is, if whoever wins between Spirit and Na'Vi, doesn't matter. Whoever one of them wins. If Alliance loses here...
Both lost against EG and both won against Alliance, so in that case, doesn't matter.
Exactly. Alliance, Fnatic, and whoever wins between Spirit and Na'Vi are all 1-1-1 against each other.
Yes.
So the next step of the tiebreakers is their record against the first place team in the group.
Which is LGD.
Exactly. Alliance beat LGD. Both Fnatic, Spirit, and Na'Vi all lost to LGD. Therefore, Alliance would win any tiebreaker without having to play tiebreakers. So even if they lose here, they're still going on.
Okay, so with that behind us, Winter, your initial thoughts on these first couple of picks here?
I think I saw one game where, I can't remember which team, they did Lone Druid against DP. They gave away DP and they used Lone Druid to lane against DP, and I saw the matchup, it was pretty good for Lone Druid. And you guys, I know you guys mentioned it was probably also a deny pick. They didn't want to give Bulldog to Lone Druid, but it might also be the plan that they wanted to leave 2 strong heroes in the pool, and they believe that Lone Druid will be able to do very well against Death Prophet in the lane, in mid lane especially. So they might actually lane that hero mid. Who played the Lone Druid when they picked it the last time? Was it RTZ?
I'm almost certain it was RTZ, yes.
Alright, so...
I don't think Universe really plays it much. They usually play the America strat is to run it safe lane generally.
The America strat.
You call that the NA strat?
No, I don't call it. It's not
just
NA. It's not NA because there's South American teams. It's America, not NA.
Just because EG
there's South American
plays
teams
it?
involved. We can't call it NA.
No, but just because EG plays it?
Well, no, it's
because they're the only American team that up next to Complexity, as in that.
That's here, but like I'm talking in the America qualifiers, we saw a lot of Lone Druid as well.
Oh, okay. They're on the safe lane, all of them.
Almost always in the safe lane.
Almost all of them. There's exceptions to the rule. Oh, I really like Disruptor. I think Disruptor. What's the win rate of Disruptor on this patch? It feels like it should be very high.
Not sure. Let me take a look. I think it's pretty solid. I think his elo gain's pretty good as well.
I think it's a pretty good hero. Like, he can actually fulfill the role in the last patch where you always have to hit like these last 2 patches.
He has 59 and 48.
There's going to be one support hero that goes mid to hit the enemy mid laner. Disruptor can also do that, like fulfill that role. And it's very good at catching out heroes. I think at the summit we saw VP use Disruptor to very good effect. They got a lot of pickoffs when you win a fight because no one can escape the glimpse.
It's very good against Earth Spirit as well, because if you try to boulder away, you can just glimpse him back. You can silence him so that he can't boulder away to begin with. So I think it's a really good hero in that regard. Now for Alliance, I'm mostly curious to see how they're going to use that IO, who they're going to pair him up with. We often see IO banned out against Alliance just because EGM is such a good IO player and he just is everywhere with that hero. So he does need a good partner in crime though. We have no Fen anymore, which is normally the go-to hero for Alliance lately. Any other usual suspects you want to see from them?
Bristol or Weaver. I think Weaver is good versus Lone Druid, but not so good with the pairing of IO. I know when Bulldog plays Lone Druid, he doesn't like to go against Weaver. He thinks that Weaver will be able to deal with Lone, because you can actually use the Swarm on the bear, so you actually kill the bear very easily.
Yeah.
And in the lane, if let's say you go 1v1 versus the Lone Druid, you can Invis go behind him and you directly harass him in the lane. So he's also really good versus Lone Druid in the lane.
Okay. So you're saying Weaver for Alliance?
Maybe, but it's not...
If they would go for that, would you save it for last pick, or would you go 4th pick?
10 seconds remaining.
Probably maybe last pick. But if you're talking about the partner with IO, I think Bristleback could also be...
Well, they can go both, because Loda still also needs a hero.
Technically, but if your cores are Bristleback, Death Prophet and Weaver, it'll be too greedy, I think. You need someone that doesn't need so much farm. And alright, you know, this is the what I call the NA strat.
Finally.
The unkillable strat, you know.
Finally.
Well, we had it banned out just the previous game against Alliance, actually.
So basically how you want to run the Abaddon is you want to have a tanky hero, that's number one. So you can actually keep the hero in front alive and you keep sieging towers. So they have 2 of those right now. They have Lone Druid and they have Disable. Because Abaddon usually lacks Disable, you cannot catch heroes. But because they have Earth Spirit and they have a tanky hero, so it's a very good environment to pick Abaddon into.
Reserve time.
Okay, so we have a Broodmother pickup then. 4th pick.
Red Dodo, alright.
Red Dodo's there. Now we have seen Alliance mostly pick Brood on the dire side. But that was previous patch. This patch it doesn't matter that much because you can also farm that small camp. Obviously, what everybody talks about. This is one of the heroes that can also farm that camp.
It's
fairly
the
easy.
laning phase too. They want to take advantage of the laning phase because right now they don't have very good heroes to deal with the Brood, and it's kind of greedy the way they are drafting their heroes. So they want to punish it with the Brood being.
Do you think it's a little early to be picking the Brood with EG still having 2 picks to
I
deal
think
with it?
it's fine because they probably feel like with the Earth Spirit more or less certain to be the support, it's going to be very hard to pick another support that can deal with the Brood. So this might actually be the support, I'm not sure. Abaddon, I think the way EG runs it is off lane, so I think Abaddon is the off laner. Lone Druid will be Arteezy's hero, Earth Spirit will be Fear. So I think the Sand King might actually be... Do you think Sumail plays the Sand King?
I know Universe plays Sand King.
Universe is probably going to play the Abaddon. They could play... PBD Abaddon has always been a thing, though. So Abaddon, that's true. Yeah. Universe is playing Abaddon for the most recently, though.
Because if they pick Sand King, it means the Sand King is the core. Then Abaddon should be the support.
I could see Sumail Sand King. Like, this game actually doesn't matter, so maybe they're trying something crazy.
Well, it matters to the regard that it depends on who they expect is going to be 2nd and 3rd in the Group B, right? Because
but they don't know for sure. So, I mean, it might be better for them to be 3rd place.
Yes, that's what I'm pointing out. But they don't know.
Right.
Which is something that we are mostly having to look at when we're actually seeing Group B play out. If there is a match that has a deciding factor in terms of that,
there's just not a whole lot at stake.
I mean,
I want to point out that when I was talking with Scant and ODPixel in the break, and we were going through all kinds of scenarios of tiebreakers and not, and Matumaman was sitting at the same table and he was eating. He's like, "You guys think way too much about these things." He was like, "We just played Dota." So.
We have to explain it though. We have to make sure the fans at home know what
I guess so. But I mean, I do want to point out that teams don't generally think that much about, where they will be in the group. They just want to do well every game because they have the competitive spirit. It's just we overanalyze everything. That's what we're here for, right? This is an analyst desk. So we analyze things, even if there's nothing to analyze or if we may be overanalyzing things. But I just want to put that out.
It's probably unfair to say the game doesn't matter. There's just nothing at stake, really. They won't lose anything.
Yes. Yeah, you can say that because there's nothing known yet about Group B either. So.
Correct.
So this would also, perhaps, for teams a chance to... More so for EG than for Alliance, I feel, because EG is maybe a bit more comfortable than Alliance in this, just in the tournament.
Right.
But it would be a chance to maybe try something out, like we saw another Titan try it out, to see how it goes. Maybe not necessarily a pocket strat, but something that they're curious to see if it would or would not work.
Right. So if you do see this as a Sumail Sand King, what do you think he does? Does he do the max caustic Orb of Venom build?
I think if you do the max caustic, because I tried it with Broodmother, you can still beat the Sand King if you go for the Permanent Shield, you go all Venom, and then you get your passive 2 points in your incapacitating bite. Then you take spawn Spiderlings after.
You said you wait on spawn Spiderlings till level 8 or 9, right?
Yeah, and you have to get Quelling back because the way you play the lane is like you have to avoid when the Sand King is using his caustic finale on the creeps. You have to avoid when the creeps are dying, and then after the creeps are dead, you have to use your Quelling bait, and then you slowly kill the creeps, and then when no creeps are dying, you have to keep hitting him. That's how you want to play the lane.
And now the old school.
It is IOK,
is nice. The IOC
that is quite good versus the Lone Druid. They need like burst damage or someone that can actually go and catch the Lone Druid behind.
CK is another hero that's kind of just crept forward more and more and more with slight buffs from the last several patches. He can get a lot of illusions now.
I actually wonder if they might go aggressive try and give Broodmother bottom lane. So just in case if EG finds out the lanes, because I think Lone Druid is probably going to be mid. That's the highest chance. And if they scout out the lanes, they find the Broodmother bottom, and they have to send the Sand King bottom. So the lane will be much better for Broodmother if Broodmother is on the safe lane, on the shorter lane.
The last pick in...
Yeah, so Sand King is...
So it is a Sumail Sand King. All right.
Well, we're talking about things that you want to try out that might or might not work. I hope that it's going to work out, though, because Sumail Sand King, I mean, that with the aggression that he normally plays with, that combined up with the Sand King that can make those plays really, really epic. I'm really looking forward to seeing that. But what do you guys think? Who has the benefit of the draft here in this matchup?
I like Alliance draft because it forces the lanes of EG to be displaced, because you have to put the Sand King versus the Brood, and then you have to lane the other heroes with the. If you put the 3 heroes versus the Brood will have a good time. So they have to, and they don't have really good supports versus Brood. Their supports were Abaddon and Earth Spirit, because I think Universe is playing the Enigma, so it'll be a position 3 Enigma. So I think overall I like Alliance lineup more.
Okay, Brian?
I'm going to have to agree with Winter. It depends on like how familiar Bulldog is with the Sand King versus Broodmother matchup. Maybe he hasn't seen it a whole lot.
He should know how to play.
Yeah, maybe he does. We'll see if he waits on Spawn Spiderlings or not.
Because there's 2 ways you can play. You can do that, or you can just use Spawn Spiderlings, but you Cryptscape.
Right,
but
exactly.
I don't really like that more. If he's on the safe lane, it's not possible.
Right.
So it depends what lane he's on.
Yeah. EG is having to respond to Alliance's draft. And I think when a team's having to respond to what Alliance is doing is when Alliance is at their strongest. So.
Okay, well, we're going to find out who is going to be second in Group A here. It is a match between EG and Alliance. Let's see the game.
First, it's myself and Scant that's going to be walking through this game with you lovely ladies and gentlemen at home. It's EG versus Alliance, and what a few hero picks we have. It's, my goodness. I mean, we're ending the draft with the Enigma coming out, revealing the fact that Sumail is going to be on the Sand King. We're seeing CK, I mean, Loda. What year is it? It's coming back, the CKIO. You were talking about it, Scant, throughout the whole draft, how the CK, this could potentially be a good game for it. You did also mention there was the risk of picking it as EG had the final pick. Is the Enigma an answer to the CK here by EG? Or do you feel it's still a great game for the Chaos Knight?
It's pretty good. I would go as far as to say that if Alliance had the last pick, they took the CK, and EG hadn't taken something that's good against the CK, Alliance were like solidly ahead in the draft completely. The Enigma does help things out a bit, but I still agree with what Winter said at the end. Alliance have Brood. There's not that much to deal with the Brood that well. I don't think the supports are good at dealing with the Broods. It's all in the Sand King. And also the CK. There isn't that much to deal with the CK. If he gets very farmed, Chaos Knight is actually one of these like cheese heroes, which just...
Reality Rift here into the slow, and Sumail, he's going to have to level the Burrow Strike, get himself up to the high ground, munches on a mango, but Sumail in a bit of trouble. One more slap there from the man on the horse, and Loda getting himself the first blood, and not the best of starts there for Sumail.
Yeah, I mean, I want to still take that credit because I wasn't on the panel to argue with Winter, but I was calling CK all draft.
You were?
Part of the reason it wasn't just a good game for CK, this is a classic Alliance hero, this is a classic Loader hero. They're going to be very comfortable playing with the setup. And I think Alliance in the draft are a little bit ahead. I mean, sure, you got the PPD Abaddon, which is also a very classic EG. That's when EG do group up and push, it's pretty much always with the Abaddon. So they'll be, I mean, we saw EG early on in the tournament try to push against LGD. Didn't really work out that well. But this is more of their natural kind of push if they're going to push.
It's going to be very interesting as well to see how this mid lane goes. Of course, S4 on the Death Prophet, we've seen him do it before at this tournament. It was their first game after their traveling. It was, you know, less of a DP, more of a soft core. It wasn't great for him. But this time he's up in the mid lane. He's against RTZ Lone Druid. I mean, this lane should be all right here for the Death Prophet, would you imagine?
Yeah, it's fine for DP. It's more that Lone Druid is actually like the only hero that...
Lone Druid? Yeah, he's got to be careful. I guess it's still just level 1 Crypt Swarm.
I think Lone Druid's the only hero that I can think of that obviously doesn't just lose to DP. DP beats pretty much everyone at the moment, so it's part of the Lone Druid pick as well. You make sure you've got that answer for the lane.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Lone Druid's just got, in 1v1 situations, he definitely has a lot of strength. We'll see how this matchup goes. Maybe a bit of a wash. Both players going to be able to get the farm. Now, the way that the lanes have matched up, so you've got Alliance here with this aggressive Trilane at the moment, sitting up here, trying to punish the Sumail Sand King. It's got the support PPD. And this is going to give, of course, a bit of space on the bottom lane. So Enigma will find the farm, and they might find a kill. Actually, they kick back Bulldog under the tower. He gets caught out there by the Malefit, and they'll get it. That's going to be a kill for EG.
You know how important that is? Because I actually would say Alliance got like a tactical victory in dodging the lane. They go aggressive. Brood's now not against Sand King. We said that there isn't really that much against the Brood in lane except the Sand King. And yet EG managed to actually take out the Brood early on in the game without the Sand King. So that's huge points for EG.
Top lane as well, as we see Sumail just really finding trouble when he's going for the CS. He's only on 3 at the moment. Chaos Knight Loader getting the lion's share. And the mid lane matchup still as even as expected. 11 for 3, 11 for 2. Very much tie on tie with the Lone Druid and the Death Prophet combination. And Universe on that bottom lane with the fact that he had that involvement in that kill.
They're gonna.
He's going to be looking very good. Yeah,
Fear's going to go for an attempt here, but this is actually a very difficult kill to make. If it was the Earth Spirit on the DP side, ganking into the Lone Druid, it's actually a bit easier. We saw that, I think, Liquid did that yesterday with the DP and like Tusk ganking in, ended the Lone Druid, and then suddenly the Lone Druid's not safe, but...
On the top lane, Loader moving in, the sentry's been dropped. They get the bolt out onto Sumail, looking for the right clicks. He'll go for the Burrow Strike onto the IO, trying to get a kill in return, but EGM's going to be fine. Walks it off. PPD trying to chase this one with the Spirits fly through. EGM will still get popped at the same time. Mid lane trying to go in there. Top lane, Ake and Loader did end up finishing off PPD as well, so they lose the IO. They get 2 kills in return. Mid lane looks like the attempt from Fear and Arteezy to go in on S4 wasn't successful, and with the help of the Spirit Siphon, keeps himself alive. So Alliance coming on top of that trade.
And in the meantime, Bulldog has caught up completely. He's got a lot of farm in that Broodmother, and yeah, I mean, I was saying it's a really big deal for EG that they managed to pick him off early on, but actually, what our original analysis kind of comes back. It's Brood's getting what it wants, there's not much to shut it down. CK is getting the game at once, there's not that much to shut it down. So the progression of the game so far, I think, does favor Alliance.
Mid lane still Fear hanging around Arteezy, seeing there's going to be the attempt to fight. PPD tried to go for the D-Wall, but Alliance say no. Ake and EGM just moving in. They've got the glimpse as well, bringing him back. Here comes Loader, looking for another kill, and he's going to get it. Killing spree now for your Chaos Knight before the 4-minute mark, and this lane at the top is just going from strength to strength for Alliance.
This is a very scary thing. If you're in a Baron, like, this is a hero that usually causes a lot of trouble for the enemy team, diving, going for early aggression and stuff, but when you're that strong that you're killing through the shields, that's like, you know, imagine when they go for kills and he's not there, because they're making the kills even when he is there, even while on him in that case.
No, it really is a worry here for at least that top lane. The other lanes, you know, we've seen Sumail being sent down here, looking to catch up on the farm. He's getting a little bit more. And still that mid lane where Arteezy, he is farming just as well as S4. They'll get a root, and well, Fear's there as well. Rolls straight into S4. He's going to have the combo here, but S4, in fact, with a Spirit Siphon, keeping himself alive, turns around with a Crypt Swarm and says, no, that's not going to work out. Welcome to the patch, buddy. And Earth Spirit's out.
DP's a good hero. I mean, Earth Spirit's a good hero too, but...
It is.
I mean, that was even with a root.
Oh, bottom lane Sumail. Here comes EGM. The dust was ready. They'll get the Sand King kill. 6-2 for Alliance on the board. And at the moment, just the lanes from the top to the bottom really working out for the side.
EG are in big trouble. I mean, I don't want to like jump the gun, but I feel like my analysis of the draft and my analysis of the match coming in, I thought Alliance were a bit ahead. I know that's not a popular analysis, but I thought Alliance were going to win. I saw the draft. I thought they had a better draft. And the way the game starts, if you look at EG's picks, This is so far from the early game that EG wanted, and if CK and Brood both get out of control early on, never mind the Death Prophet, which is like meant to be the best hero in the meta right now, they got to turn things around.
They've got the root here, and I'm going to try and chase, but Ake is there now. There's your Spirit Siphon, looking for the turnaround. Crypt Swarm won't quite clip him. They do bring him back in with a glimpse, but in fact, S4's like, mate, I didn't really want you to bring him back that close, because the Bear chasing down Death Prophet at the same time, bottom lane, trying to make a go on Sumail. Not quite enough nuke damage to bring him down there with a Spider Blast.
Yeah, I think they had miscoordinated a bit at the mid lane, that's all. Like, the Siphon came and then ended, and then the Glimpse came. If they could have glimpsed into the Siphon, they might have turned around and got the kill, but still, EG don't get a kill out of it, so I think Alliance are perfectly happy. There's a lot of pressure for me on EG right now to turn around the dynamic of the game quite quickly.
I guess the question is, this game, Loader on his CK, what do you build nowadays on the Chaos Knight?
I think standardly you get the drum, you get the armlets, BKB, Mantis Stylus. I mean, I don't think there's that much need for variety.
Oh, fair. Oh, yeah, off you go. Goodbye. Nice gank, mate. And now I'm unfortunately not able to help the Spider chase down the rolling boulder.
And PPD just kind of soaking up XP at the moment. I think did Sumail go off to...
He went down to the bottom. Where's he about now, Sumail? He got Arteezy just sitting around the Ancients, and he's managed to find himself level 6. He's got the Tranks, and looks like, yeah, he's going to go back down to the bottom to get the farm, because obviously Universe has swapped around. He's now in the jungle on the Enigma, getting that safe farm, and he's getting it. Level 6, picked up the headdress, and going to start to work towards that mechanism. Yeah,
and it's another thing we need to talk about. When I talk about there being pressure on EG from the draft, they've got both the Sand King and the Enigma. Both of them have the backup plan of going to the jungle, but they can't do it at the same time, really, even with the extended jungle of this new patch. So one of them needs to be braving a lane at any given time, and they've decided not Sumail to go 1v1 Sand King against Brood, but I think Bulldog is already set up, and like it's at that stage where Sand King doesn't in any way counter Brood in that lane, but I think they're actually going to go for a kill on Bulldog.
Dire's top tower is
We
under
might
attack.
see, indeed that happen. They jump in with the Burrow Strike. Fear rolling forward. They've got the dust. This could be a big kill if they get it with Universe there as well. They should, and they'll take him down. Donga is out, and Sumail will claim the gold for that.
That's super important.
At the same time, it looked like Alliance did try and maybe think about going on PPD, realizing that he's on his own. Block him off, and they'll just look to finish the tower. So this is just more money into the pocket of Alliance, and more specifically into this load of CK.
Yeah, although, I think EG feel more natural when they're in a situation where PPD is in a very difficult situation trying to get scraps and everyone else is...
Sumail TP'd in. He was maybe looking to fight. He has to burrow strike out, but they've got the glimpse, bringing him back. Hasn't quite got enough mana here for the Sandstorm. So he's not going to be do-do-do. He's going to be do-do-do dead. Maybe with the one charges he could get out. There we go. Sandstorm finally comes out. He's got enough power. PPD as well, doing the best to fend them off. The kick comes through. Will be duped by Loader. Fear, he's got an Arcane Rune. We'll see if EG can try and catch out anyone on the side of Alliance here on the way out. Now, it looks like they're going to let them be. I don't feel that they can chase it, and Alliance do get away alive, but they don't find any of the kills they were looking for.
Well, it's still a win for them. They were just pushing a tower. EG, like, TP'd in. The tower still dies. EG don't get any kills. Alliance are perfectly happy with the way the game's going so far. All three of their cores are heroes that are difficult for EG's lineup to deal with, and all of them are at the top of the net worth, kind of getting out of control. They're they're not yet out of control, but they're on their way.
Yeah, Brood indeed going to be making very good timing here on the Orchid for Admiral Bulldog. And the Midas recipe is done for Arteezy, so there's certainly going to be the farm potential for EG to turn it themselves in a bit of farm fest for the Lone Druid, but at the same time, as you're mentioning, you don't really want to be doing that against the cause of Alliance because the Chaos Knight is going to get very, very scary as the game goes on at this rate.
Yeah, I do feel like EG wants it to be the team that applied the early pressure. And so, I mean, while Midas is just, it makes sense of the progression, especially in the position they're in, it does signal something about how the game is going. And, not that we needed the signal, it's easy enough for anyone to see that Alliance are ahead right now.
EG certainly need a big player, and they do have the team for the big play. You look at the Wombo combo of a team fight. Yes, Alliance have got their strengths, but so do EG. You've got your Black Hole, you've Epicenter, Earth Spirit with the combo. They can certainly look for a big impact kind of group up fight. We haven't really seen a huge team fight yet. It's just been the lanes kind of sticking to themselves. Fear's been rotating around a little bit on the Earth Spirit, but he struggled to find too much. Other than those key kills onto the Broodmother. We'll see if maybe the next point is to just wait on, maybe even on Sumail's Blink Dagger. You've got the mech done on the Enigma, so the pushing power is there. But yeah, Sumail, only 500 gold in on that one. It's still going to be a fair while until he has it available. And Alliance at the moment just pressuring the mid tower. Looks like they'll try and take the tier 1 down here with this Exorcism, and at least get a considerable bit of damage done. Some of EG are moving in. They might see if they can hold this. They'll put the fortification. PPD's there on the sidelines and Universe as well.
EG have a lot of confidence in their Enigma, actually. I think it's the third time they picked it in this tournament. In their opening game against Na'Vi, and they picked the previous game against Fnatic, which, I don't know if you caught that. Fnatic actually mega creeped EG, and then EG turned around and killed the throne. So they've had their share of like big plays and epic drama already today.
Fair. Oh, he's rolling out. He's gone. Loader couldn't quite get the vision there for the stun. And PPD's also there with the backup. But also the point of it, we haven't really seen any kind of big relocates coming out from EGM, but there's that potential as well that we haven't really talked about. The classic CKIO combo, level 6 is now on EGM.
Yeah, so now you're in a position where if they group up and try and kill the Brood, all of a sudden there's a Wisp and a CK and turns around on you. So it becomes that much more difficult for EG to try and shut down any of these cores.
They're eyeing up Sumail at the moment, bottom, and here we go. This is the relocate that we're talking about. They get the Thunderstrike, the Glimpse bringing him back, as well as the Reality Rift just ripping Sumail to pieces. Alliance get themselves the kill here on the bottom lane, and I'll see if the CK sticks around, or if they'll take him back up top if they want to try and look for a push in. Now they'll keep him back up on the top lane.
Chaos Knight, man. Chaos Knight's in the right draft, in the right position, is actually, like, I think a totally broken hero. It's really, really strong. And, like, there's some tools. There's the Sand King, the Earth Spirit, the Enigma to deal with the Chaos Knight ulti later on. But if Alliance are going to get this far ahead, if they're going to keep pulling away... I mean, CK is actually the least farmed of their 3 cores, but they're all getting good farm. And I don't see, if the game progresses the way it's progressing, 15 minutes down the line, I don't think EG can handle them. I don't think at all.
I mean, as well, we mentioned it a little bit earlier, but still, the DP, the fact that she's top of the board. You know, S4 didn't have a great game the other day, but this time he's shown us how well he can utilize the hero and playing it as it should be. Top lane, bring in PPD in. He's going to be fine there with the ultimate.
It's very interesting that Loader actually bought the early Vitality booster. I'm not sure if this is something that he generally does. He could have finished the drum. I guess eventually you're going to build into a heart on the hero. I would be a little bit surprised if he bought a Vanguard, but it's also a possibility.
Yes, yeah, I guess you'd imagine he's saving it for the heart. That's EGM. He's just wandering around with this Invis rune, scouting them out, pings onto Universe. They do have S4 around as well, but EGM, he's walked under the sentry. He's been rumbled, and yeah, Samel's there to capitalise on it. More money into the pocket of the Sand King. Same time though, Bulldog continue to apply the pressure onto the bottom lane. There'll be a TP down here from Samel. They do have this sentry just on the tip, so.
It's the one safe kill that EG can make right now if they catch the Wisp, because then they know the relocate's not coming onto them.
Oh, and here is your ult from Loader onto Universe. There will be the stun, and now the mech's popped. Universe trying to walk this one off. Loader, a little bit low on mana. He's got enough for one more Reality Rift. S4 chasing down with the Exorcism and the Spirit Siphon onto Fear. The Photic Shield from PPD is going to be there. Arteezy's found Loader on the retreat. This could be a huge kill for the man, and it is. He'll take him down. Arteezy on the Lone Druid getting a hefty chunk of gold there from that CK kill, and Alliance, I guess, hanging around that side of the map for too long and making that risky walk on his own through the Dire Jungle back towards his side of the map there, Loader, and Arteezy's there to punish it.
Yeah, I think Alliance sensing they're ahead and getting impatient.
Oh, Artur trapped in the party ring. Exorcism still up. PPD trying to do his best to keep him alive. Isn't going to happen. And Arteezy, just as soon as after he made a brilliant play, makes a not so brilliant one there as Alliance punish him.
Yeah, I mean, the play in EG's jungle is very much on Alliance because they'd seen Wisp get picked off there. They knew EGM died. They knew they were enemies, and they were like, we'll just go take a fight. And I feel like without their Wisp and just on their own, I don't know, it's a bit impatient. Sure, you're ahead, but you're not that far ahead that you're going to go up against the Enigma, Mechanism, the Abaddon, and a whole bunch of heroes on your own. But yeah, quickly getting back in after that, taking down the Lone Druid, and still think Alliance are looking good, but they need to. If you're Alliance, you just need to keep your composure. Don't rush things too much. You're doing really well.
Yeah, because obviously with EG's experience, they're going to be a team that's ready to kind of make the most of the enemy's mistakes and look to start to turn around that early game lead that we did see Alliance get. But EG certainly starting to hit their stride a little bit better now. The fact that Samel, a few hundred gold away from that Blink Dagger, that's going to be very shortly online. Universe, now he's got the Arcanes and the mechs done. Does he definitely go for the Blink, or might we just see the Greaves come out from the Enigma next?
I think the Greaves are a possibility.
Yeah.
There's quite a bit of silence coming out of the Lion side, the DP, the Disruptor. Well, I guess you can't really Greaves off Disruptor.
No. Ooh, this could be a pick. S4 trapped in the Static Storm. Look at himself up with the stuns there from Fear. PPD moving around, trying to get the right clicks through, but looks like he's going to be fine. Lotus joining in the fight with the IO. So S4 with the Spirit Siphon, keeping himself alive, and now it's EG that got to get themselves out. Universe getting brought back in by the Rift. He's got the Aphotic Shield up. It's going to be S4 the first casualty of this. Universe will pop, so 2 for 1 at the moment. Now we're seeing if EG can try and find something more to even this trade-off. They get the silence onto Loader. They're looking for a route. They will get onto the CK. Bulldog trying to fight up with the ultimate onto the Earth Spirit. Isn't going to get it. Loader rifts in PPD, trying to go in now. He pops the ult. He's got the ult, trying to look for the control on EG. They throw back the stun onto Bulldog. Loader's going to get rooted. He rifts in Arteezy, still desperately trying to fight. He's got EGM backing him off, looking for the chase down. They'll get the Chaos Bolt onto Arteezy, brings him back in again, but Arteezy just a little bit too tanky, and PPD there with the Aphotic Shield just keeping his teammates alive, and EG will get everyone else out, and he just ends up a 2 for 1 there. So EG, they do lose an offlaner and a core, but they do get the Death Prophet kill. Still, the gold swing definitely favouring the side of Alliance. Yeah,
and I think EG identified they're quite far behind. It's a really good window to go because CK ulti is cooling down, and Broodmother is not really the best hero for like rotating into a fight.
No.
But intelligently so, I think Bulldog came anyway. And if he hadn't come, then maybe that snowballs into a much bigger fight for EG. But because he comes, despite the fact that he's a Broodmother, it makes all the difference. It turns the fight around, and Alliance come out on top still. That's the window we're going to probably see for the rest of the game. When CK ulti's down, when DP ulti's down, that's when EG will always go for players.
Yeah. I mean, a lot kind of rests on Arteezy's shoulders as well. We saw that he did survive, so he did manage to get a fair bit out of the fight. He's now on 2k gold, which I imagine, he's still working towards the Radiance. He's just sitting on the Midas and 2k. What's on the bear at the moment, Pim? Let's have a look. Okay, well, there we go. Oh, we can't see the bear.
Yeah, we need to actually select
the
bear.
bear. Give us the bear. Give us a bear. Yeah, it's just the Midas, yeah.
And
no, it hasn't got the phase boot shirt either on the bear. That's alright, Pimp. We'll get Scriff next time. Alright, 10-6 at the moment for the side of Alliance. As you said, still with the edge. The Brood pick as well in the draft. Do you think that was something that caught EG a little bit off guard this game?
Yeah, I think maybe, because EG started very early on in the draft with 2 supports in the Earth Spirits and the Abaddon. And like, sure, maybe you could say they're representing the Abaddon as an offlane, but I felt like it was probably going to be a support one. At that point, you pick the Brood, and it's like, now they kind of force EG to pick a hero which deals with the Brood, which is the Sand King. I think EG get a bit lucky that the Sand King is quite good against the Brood and against the Chaos Knight, because if that one hero wasn't good against both of the things they had to deal with, I think you know, it might be beyond redemption. As it stands with the Enigma, with the Sand King, with the EG have all the ingredients in this game to like mount a big comeback or to take a big fight and then be fine. So again, there's pressure on Alliance to make sure that they don't make those mistakes because EG is a team that we absolutely trust to punish mistakes.
EG now, with that Blink Dagger on Sumail, they're going to look to punish the side of Alliance somehow. They smoke up. Let's see what they can do in terms of catching out. Mid lane is the Disruptor and the Death Prophet. They're going to send RTZ up top, and in fact, I've got the CK and IO in the neighborhood up there.
And everyone's got ultis now on Alliance, so
yeah.
this is not that window. This is dangerous for EG.
They could catch S4 maybe.
Yeah, if they pick someone off.
Sumail, waiting for the time. Here we go with the epicenter. Jumps in for the power stroke. Oh, Sumail's too short. And now Ake, there with S4, forcing them back. Here comes Loader and EGM, looking to pick some off on the retreat. PPD trying for the TP out. He will make it. No, they get the canceller. They bring him back with a glimpse. They've taken down the Sand King. They'll look to find PPD as well, and he'll almost certainly go down as a second pick off for Alliance. And as you said for EG, that was always going to be risky, fighting into Alliance with their ults up. And just the fact that that initial jump from Sumail didn't quite catch out the Death Prophet.
S4 gets all the credit for that, in my opinion. Like, the way he was farming that camp from basically as far away as possible, just in case they do gank him in that position. And I almost feel like I don't know if he knew they were setting up exactly the way they were, but Sumail gets a bit impatient. He's like, you know, screw it, I'm going to try and go.
And it just... Yeah.
And if he catches them there, it's a totally different story, but it's on S4 to farm from such a defensive position that sets up, like, punishing the enemy team for ganking in that way. And Loda's going straight for Heart. That's what this Vitality boost is. I mean, that's... Heart these days is like, it turns every hero into Slark. You know, firstly, his images are just going to be super tanky, but also in a fight, if you don't burst him, he runs out, full HP, back in.
I mean, that's the thing. You can have a CK with a Heart, and obviously just even brew just with the web regen. You've got an IO backing these heroes up, DP with the exorcism heals. You're going to have a very self-sustaining lineup that when these pushes do come in from Alliance, it's going to be harder and harder for EG to fight into, and especially if they get the Aegis as well here. You've got PPD around in the corner, but that's about it, so no way that they can jump in, and they'll take that and drop the Aegis to where that's for.
EG are running out of lives. I think they maybe have 1 life left. Like, if they lose another big fight or objective, that's like very close to the game being over, honestly. I know it's early in the game, but it wouldn't be that new in this tournament. And I don't know, even though Batten, as I was saying earlier, this is not a hero that you want to have where the enemy team is so strong they just kill through your shields. It feels like the hero's doing nothing then.
Yeah.
And you'd rather have a hero that like proactively makes plays, something like that. And with the Aegis, with the Hearts and CK, with the kind of...
on IO.
Yeah, just... I think EG, the kind of plays they were going for in those windows, try and like get off 1 or 2 important kills, get momentum, maybe get a tower fit. That is what they need to do, but they have to be successful in that sometime in the near future. They are running out of time.
S4 coming on the top lane. Fear is there, hiding in the sideline, so they will have eyes on him. RTZ around as well. He did pick up the relics, not quite got the money to finish off the Radiance, I believe, still working on the recipe. S4's got back up here, so it's going to be wise if EG don't try and make a move. It looks like Fear's just going to keep himself hidden there and silent on the sidelines. RTZ as well, going into the tree line. Looks like S4 starting to work on the bear, but the Savage roars out, and RTZ with the straight TP away from the action will get himself out.
I think they're waiting for Loader to finish Heart, which is right on the way, a couple 100 gold. And then I expect Alliance to just go for all the tier 2s, maybe even tier 3s, because they'll have a DP Aegis, they'll have a CK with the Heart, plus the IO. They're just not going to be killable. They're going to be like, forced down all these times.
I mean, yeah, the ultimate with the illusions once he's got Heart. At this point of the game, it's good luck trying to deal with them. Universe is getting gone on here. Look at the silence onto 2. Loader coming in here with the help of EGM, and Universe is going to be the first to get taken down. PPD looking for the TP out on the sideline, and he will make it out here. Yeah, it's just Universe falling, but he's down for 40 seconds, and he is quite a key component of trying to stop a push if Alliance do get it on now.
Yeah, on the other side of the screen, I saw that Fear managed to actually silence the IO and the Chaos Knights, so they didn't even take part in that kill at all, even though they relocated
turned up
in.
and were like, all right.
Yeah. So, but I mean, it says something that you relocate in, you don't even have to do anything and succeed in what you're relocating in for anyway.
There we have with the Exorcism, tier 2, looking to be in quite a bit of a predicament here. PPT's hanging about, but he's just going to have to watch it fall here from the safety, the temporary safety of his base. Okay.
They could potentially
he's got a
pull him
glimpse set
back.
up if And he will use it here. And PPD dancing around outside his base. So Lions jumps straight in. There's your epicenter. Onto S4 and Bulldog. Fear rolling in as well. Universe looking for the potential to find a good black hole. And he'll drop it. Catches S4 and Bulldog. But it will get cancelled straight away. The static storm getting laid down. PPD moving off to the sidelines. Does get an aphotic shield off. He'll keep himself alive for the time being. But already they've lost Samael. They've lost Universe. PPD getting glimpsed back. A third kill for Alliance.
This could actually be the game. Like, the DP's even still got Aegis, right?
Death Prophet still with Aegis. Loader. You know, as tanky as he is, they've got the end, they've got the mech.
Yeah, they maybe dealt enough damage that do Alliance need to go back? No, they're hanging around. I mean,
stick there.
That heart regen, Wisp just takes...
Oh, he takes Ake back. That's cute. Yeah.
Heal up, we're going to push.
Ake.
When EG respawn, they don't have their ultis anyway. So, I mean, they're going to try and mount one last defense, but if they couldn't do it with their ultis, are they going to do it without them?
In comes the bear. The Radiant's mischance doing a bit for him. Let's get the stun from the spread out to the two of them. And now the team is back. Samael with the bow strike onto Bulldog. He is trapped under the tower. Does just come out. Can he get himself away? The bear chasing down with the Radiance. Bulldog will go down. So EG finding one here on the defense. Party ring here from Ake, holding them back. Stun catches the Disruptor there. Nice kick from Fear. Follow up Burrow Strike. The silence for as well. Ake going to be the second kill here. So EG do manage to defend, and they do take two heroes down. And Tier 3 taking a significant amount of damage, but it is still on the board.
The mistake in my analysis is I'm thinking like EG failed to defend with their ultis, so they can't defend without them. But actually, it's also Alliance who didn't have their ultis. And Alliance's ultis are more important than EG's ones. So EG recognized DP ultis down, CK ultis down. Suddenly we can go with it's the window we talked about earlier. So that's the thing for Alliance to pay attention to for the rest of the game. I think they're in an absolutely commanding position, but they need to not get punished when those ultis are down.
Still a 10k lead here, as we can see, for Alliance, which, as you've been saying, very comfortable to have at 24 minutes in. But EG certainly showing us that they can pack a punch. They are going to fight back. They will hold the ground, and they'll have the momentum quite easily with their lineup to get a very strong push going down lane as well themselves. It's
actually such an interesting dynamic now, because you can see that EG know whenever CK and DP ulti are down, we're going to get everything we can off the map. We're going to win a fight, we're going to take a tower. And Alliance know that when those ultis are up, there's like a 90% chance they're winning the fights. So it's very much about what happens in those windows.
It's going to be interesting to see what Loader's next item is that he goes for. Obviously, yeah, a bit of a different way that he's built in the sense going for the straight up part. It's a very confident, strong build. It's working out. He's 4-1 and 6 at the moment. But I mean, what does Loader go for next? Do you think we might see him go back for something like the Manta to really capitalize on the illusions? I
don't think it's necessary. I think it'll be probably the BKB. I mean, if he wants something right now, he could actually just go back and finish his drum. I don't. It seems like a strange thing to do to go hard drum, though. I think BKB makes him... BKB, then he's got like an extra ulti in a sense, even if you don't have your ulti.
Yes, and then he can fight without the ulti, yeah. That's true.
And speaking of BKB, that's actually Enigma, very close to BKB too. And that'll be guaranteed black holes, right? There's nothing to cancel it.
There is nothing. There absolutely is nothing.
Doesn't have the blink or the force, but if he gets in after the Sand King blink's done, nice black hole with BKB, that could be good.
Yeah, Universe, we could see some spectacular stuff come out from him. And as you said, they've been playing it a bit. They have a lot of confidence in the hero, and Universe himself has proved to be a very strong player. So yeah, having a BKB, you've got to be scared if you're Alliance, because Universe is going to be there every time that you're out of position and ready to get the black hole down.
I still think if Alliance have all their ultis, they're favored, even against the black hole BKB Enigma. But again, it's going to come down to what happens outside of those windows. The problematic thing for EG is that CK ulti and DP ulti both last really long. And so you actually expect that the next time they pop those ultis, they could definitely take a side or two of Rax. I guess that Alliance might want to wait for the next rush first. But the rush put could actually be... that could be the undoing. If you look at the lineup for EG, if that's where Alliance is going to go, and if EG catch them out, I think that's a potential opening for EG to get a very big fight.
Alliance now with the full 5 of them again, maybe looking to try and break the base. As you said, they've hit that point where they've got all the ults online. They know that they've got a very good chance of taking a fight and take the tier 3 down.
Yeah, I think it makes sense to not wait for Rush, precisely because Rush is actually a good position for EG to fight. But they're still not quite committing their ultis either.
We have it in onto the Rax Exorcism coming out. Loader straight away with the ultimate. This should be potentially the mid-Rax. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to... They've got the Savage Roar to send the illusions packing. And actually with that, he's going to try and keep them alive, so pulls them away. So the Rax will be held alive for the time being. EG wanting to wait until that exorcism has finished. PPD moving and he's going to soak up the damage, heal himself back up with borrowed time. That's easy, sending the bear. He's going to hope for Root and he gets the first hit. Root, Borrow Strike to follow for as well. Static Storm has been laid down and EGM is there, keeping S4 alive. We'll take him out. EGM there with the save, bringing S4 back to base. Our Bulldog's just sitting there. He says, all right, I'll pick up the melee racks. And now he's trying to fight. He turns towards Fear, trying to go for it. Aphotic shield's out. Fear rolls back in. Bulldog gets punished. He tries to go for the play, doesn't get it. Now Samael, straight up, BM epicenter onto EGM. EGM walks it off though, tethers across to Ake. Ake with the TP out. EGM is going to get caught. So they do lose the IO and the Spider.
That's, I mean, well, it looks like Loda is actually going for Manta, but that's a good fight for EG. That's like in the position they're in, I think it's really good. Both the ultis were used, they only lost 1 Rax, they got a couple of kills, and I think Alliance maybe a little bit hesitant. Like, they looked indecisive to me. They poked their heads in, wanted to get the Rax without risking anything, and not, you know, fair enough. If they take the risk, if they commit and they all die, that's terrible. But the way they do it, they end up getting punished for the indecision all the same. And now I'm looking back towards that rush pit. I mean, I'm looking to when do CK and DP have ulti again, but also can they get the rush? Because Alliance would love nothing more than to have an Aegis again.
Yeah.
And then they can actually just go for it.
Because then they can turn that fight. Because then in that situation, you don't have to necessarily rescue the S4, take him right out the fight, sacrifice the IO. Yeah. An extra life could be what Alliance need to make that final jump. But EG is certainly bringing this one back in some form. Now you've got Arteezy at the top of the net worth. You know, we already know from the games that we've seen, from the amount of Lone Druid that's being played, this hero can be absolutely terrifying in the latter portions of the game. You know, there's potential to be 12 slotted. You can push down lanes incredibly fast. One good fight and suddenly this man with the battle cry, extra 100 and whatever it is, some ridiculous amount of damage, chomping away at your towers. 150 bonus to eats, yeah.
It must be so frustrating playing against EG because you get into this position where you're like, on paper you're so far ahead of them, they shouldn't be able to deal with you, but every time you give them like an inch, they just take a mile, and EG taking everything they can, recognizing when they have windows, when they can win a fight, when they can chase, when they can even get towers, and trying to, you know, slowly but surely fight their way back into this game.
And just that ever kind of lasting threat of Universe's Black Hole. You saw in that last fight the fact that EG get the 2 kills, they didn't even need to use it. Meantime, Loda is going to look to push down on the bonnet. He's got the backup of Bulldog and EGM here. But at the same time, this is EG starting to catch up, close that gap, clear up some of the ejectors themselves. They've got their eyes on the top tower. Arteezy just having the bear work away at it. And more money here for the man. And actually, let's... Yeah, just the tier 2 on the top and the bottom left of the side of Alliance. The final tier 2 for EG is going to be defended. Arteezy coming in with a TP, and looks like Alliance are already backing out. It's Bulldog sitting around here.
And I wonder if Loda now might be regretting rushing a heart, because the way he built up, I just feel like his thinking was, I'm going to get the hearts at a good timing, we're going to push and they can't do anything. But if the push is not just, if they're not just like freely getting Raxes, then maybe he'd rather have built up in a way that's more appropriate for fighting with the drum, with the BKB. Because now he gets into this awkward position whenever they get to the enemy base. Do I send just the illusions in? Can I walk close? You could definitely see the logic of the heart pickup, but...
Oh, EGM coming out on his own here. Samael and Fear jump straight in onto the IO, and the EGM's down. Just getting a little bit too greedy and coming a little bit too far away from his master there, as Loda was not in the neighborhood to help.
Is that his Manta style complete on Loda? I think it is.
Yeah, it should be here.
Okay, so even more images, so that works with the approach of like, don't send your main and just send lots of illusions in. But again, my concern about that kind of approach, if Alliance's approach to ending the game is going to be like, every time we use our ultis, we just like sort of poke at the Raxes from far away, I think each time they can get punished a bit by bit by bit, and eventually EG can just catch up.
Let's see. One of those bit of players here. I like this build as well from the Sand King, going for that Aghanims on the SK, which is something that I've not actually had the pleasure of seeing in a competitive game, but that item is going to be very scary, especially, considering Alliance are in a position where they're trying to push up to the high ground. You get yourself in there with a big Burrow Strike, hitting them all with a passive. That's going to be a ridiculous amount of damage in the team fights.
I haven't even seen it in a pub yet. Like, I don't know what it looks like. I mean, I guess it just looks like a long Burrow Strike, yeah. But
it's a long Burrow Strike, and it is the one, isn't it, where it infects everyone with
has all
caustic.
yeah.
It's massive. It is massive. Okay. I mean, we're talking about the Burrow Strike here, not my... yeah, thanks, Pep.
Because it's actually super important, because we're talking about how Enigma's Black Hole can't be cancelled if it's in BKB. Yeah. And if Sand King's got that really long range initiation, that means you catch the people for the Enigma to go in and get that Black Hole off. And the more the game progresses, the more I actually start to worry for Alliance that maybe they don't, they're not going to be able to close out the game. I still think it's probably advantage Alliance at this point. If they get this rush, like, they should be favored to get some Raxes with it too.
I think EG would realise that they're starting to TP some people back, but there's going to be nowhere that they can get to here soon enough.
Yeah, and Loda takes it, because this is like, he wants to be able to fight. He wants to be able to just go in. Obviously, that puts a target on S4. But I think EGM is going to be prioritizing saving S4 the way he did in the previous fight. And Loda's going to be able to just like charge in with all his illusions and his hero. And that's part of the Chaos Knight actually. The fact that when you blink on people, all your images come with, that's how you kill them. If your images just have to like stand on their own without the hero, they don't fight that well. They're just like, you know, melee units that right-click things.
There we have. Side of Alliance, seeing if they can go Sumail. Look at his positioning. He's ready and waiting in the corners with an epicenter if it is needed, and if the side of Alliance do start to go a little bit too ham. And that is the thing here. I mean, EG's high ground defense is really good. With these kind of two huge team fight ults, Alliance know what they're kind of setting themselves up for when they go in. They've just got to be very aware that multiple heroes don't get caught out. Straight away, just again with the Savage Roar, pushing it back and being able to just still keep Alliance thinking. It's hard for Alliance to find this jump. Mid lane, Sumail.
Broodmother finished their axe, so they're getting value. And remember, Loda's not committing his ulti yet. He's just spamming Manta every time. So there's nothing for EG to say, okay, they've used that thing, now we can go. And so it's a difficult position for EG. I think it's very intelligent of Alliance to do the split approach. And now Bulldog's going to start working on the top tower, I think. I mean, it's going to take a while, but they're not losing anything, Alliance, right now.
Yeah. I mean, this is the EG. What's the plan here? They're going to start make a run in onto bottom. They've already managed to get the kill onto the IO. Universe with a 3-man black hole. Huge black hole from the man. EGM trying to come in with a save. S4's going to go down there. Bulldog as well to fall. There'll be a buyback from EGM. He came in here to look for a save, but this could be a dieback. Burrow strike from Sumail, and suddenly EG turning up, and it's Universe with the black hole that does it. We knew that he was waiting for that opportune moment, and he comes in with a big one. And now with Loda looking to be in dire straits as well, this is going to be a team wipe for EG. They hold the base, they bring him down, his Aegis is gone. They'll group up, EG ready for the party. Loda getting absolutely destroyed by the lineup.
You know what?
Suddenly, EG, bam!
I think Alliance became complacent, almost like us. You know, we were watching the Brood split pushing because EG did nothing when they split push mid. So then we're like, okay, they're going to do nothing while they split push top. And Alliance probably thinking the same thing. We're fine, we're split pushing, we're not committing. And all of a sudden, Wisp gets caught. I don't know if, I guess we didn't see, but the Wisp actually got picked off even before the black hole happened. And that was like a big problem, because once you see the Wisp is dead, you know you can just go in guns blazing, it's not going to save anyone. Then they catch the big black hole because Alliance are panicking that their Wisp went down. It's completely disastrous for Alliance actually, and I wouldn't be surprised if the gold graph is like starting to go EG's favor now. Yeah,
oh right, yep, right, goodbye advantage that Alliance had. Straight down the way of EG. I mean, just Universe. He's a bit of a cool cat, you can imagine. He was just chill, waiting for the time. Walks in, easy 3-man black hole. He's soaking it all in. Great stuff from Universe there. Out the fight, will manage to catch out Arteezy, bringing him back into the pool. BKB from Bulldog, the Static Storm's good. Laying down onto 3, Sumail gets the Burrow strike onto Loda, but now Loda bringing in Artor. Artor's going to go down, and now this is Alliance fighting back hard. Universe pops the BKB, trying to run, gets healed up by the Mist Coil. Loda continues to try and chase down this man on the Enigma. Will he be able to do it? Chasing through the trees. Universe looking for the Jukes. Is he going to make it? No, he won't. Crit to the back. Loda gets himself a double kill. PPD being hunted down by the Bulldog underneath the tower. He's got borrowed time, but there's backup coming in for the side of Alliance. More people throwing the bodies at PPD. PPD's going to get bodied. This time it's EG losing 4 heroes. And again, this looks like this could be a game that we just see going back and forth, depending on who's got the ultimates available.
It's a classic symptom of a game of such high intensity as well, that what happens is a team gets a big win, and then they feel a bit too confident going into the next position, and then suddenly they get a big loss, and then the other team feels a bit too confident, but this is actually huge for Alliance now. EG are going to have to throw some buybacks, I think, because DP and CK both have ulti. They didn't even use those to make those kills.
Yeah, they could definitely take at least a second set of racks here without the buybacks. So what they're going to have? They're going to have Sumail and Fear here defending him. There's the buyback from PPD. We'll see if any more come out. Universe and Arteezy have it. Arteezy's going to do it, even with just 40 seconds on. Sumail, Burrow striking forward, getting the stun onto 2. And now, the TP in from Artor, but back to base, son.
And Loda's at bot racks as well.
Look at these illusions. Chipping away. Here's Sumail, jumping forward. Got the boulder kick and illusions. get to dispatch, but already a fair bit of damage done to that tier 3, and the slow but painful siege is certainly apparent here from the lineup of Alliance.
Does it remind you of any other Alliance games you've seen? It shows, I mean, EG have to respect how fast they push, how strong they are, that they've got like a bunch of heroes who are going to respawn in the next 20 seconds, they still buy them back, because they have to. Otherwise, you know, it doesn't matter if you're winning fights. If actually, EG won their previous game against Fnatic against Mega Creeps, but that was like, it doesn't happen that often. I think if Alliance get Megas in, you know, the near future in this game, that's pretty it for EG. And EG sensing this, and actually, well, CK and DP LT are down. This is their window.
Look at the graph. Back up to about 8k. Just these one fights, just these huge swings, because we are getting to this beefy point, and yeah, as you said, this is the opportunity. No ults on the two big cores.
If you could plot the movement of the teams in this game according to like the DP and CK LT, it would be literally like EG making the moves every time those are down, and then Alliance making the moves when they're up.
And we have them stepping up and looking for oh, they go for the tier 4s. EG said, we're done. We wanna finish this. And Alliance, they haven't got the ultimates, and again...
Do they have TPs?
Is this one... Oh, no. Can they go for a base race? They're going for racks. Alliance, they need to go for something bigger, because at the same time, EG are trying for it here. They do lose fear, but the tier 4s are down. They just go for an RTZ working away. Universe, oh, with a black hole onto Loader and EGM. There's going to be Bulldog trying to fight him against Artur, pushing back the Lone Druid. Does get the kill here. Now turns toward PPD. It's a double kill for Universe as both the CK and the IO are down. Buyback from the CK. PPD desperately trying to hit the Ancient. He's got the borrowed time, but they will take him down. Loader with a buyback, helping dispatch him. There's been a buyback from Fear. Sumail gets himself out, and so does Universe with the TP away. But oh man, this absolute cutthroat game, EG see an opening and they go for it. They know without those ults that Alliance are so weak that they could just run past the racks and go for the tier 4.
It was a brilliant plan from EG, and I think it makes sense because they sense that the game is probably going downhill for them, and they nearly won the game just right there. Unfortunately, Alliance are like the absolute experts in this style of player, and I think worked out just on time who needs to go where, what they need to do.
And there's an AC on Bulldog now as well.
And RTZ doesn't have buyback, right? So they could go for Megas right now.
They might even try and go for... I guess they don't have the Exorcism, it's just been used.
They do have the CK LT.
Actually, yeah, with that and the AC on Bulldog, they could try for tier 4s themselves. Look at this army coming in from Loader.
Throne to throne.
Straight onto the tier 4. S4 kind of getting caught out here on the side, though. He's popping the BKB. He's got to try and work it off. He's got the Spirit Siphon with the Octarine healing up. Loader rips him Fear, rips him to pieces. Earth Spirit's down. The second tier 4's gone. And Alliance, they've got the Ancient exposed. They're starting to work on it. Sumail now. He's going to get shredded to slices. He'll buy back straight away. Can they hold this? I don't know if they can. Sumail, he's trying to go in, but Bulldog pops the BKB, hits the Ancient, and Alliance take the game.
Wow. Throne to throne, Dota 2. That's, I mean, like 30 seconds ago we were watching Alliance's throne busy dying, and that, for me that's incredible. That's like excitement, and it's such a good game going forward into like the playoffs, because this is hype right there.
This is, that absolutely. Alliance and EG. I mean, we expected a good game. As you said, Alliance, they played the solid start, the solid mid-game, then EG hit back really damn hard. They started to force down the lanes. They got to the point where it's like, all right, hang on, they could win the game here. But Alliance, as you said, they're very used to kind of playing when they're pushed into those kind of positions and situations, and they just hit straight back.
And I think the good news now is that all of that tiebreaker drama goes away, because Alliance will be clearly second, with LGD first and EG third, I think.
So it's very strong free group, teams coming out of the groups. And Alliance, of course, the team that nearly didn't make it. You know, they get themselves in, everything was sorted out, fortunately enough for them in time. And as you say, moving forward, and after performance like that against EG.
It's incredible. The 3 teams went through in the group. Alliance beat the other 2. They beat LGD and they beat EG.
That's true.
I mean, their losses are to the weaker
teams
team
that got knocked out. So kind of their kryptonites are gone. You know, the teams that they're like, EG, LGD, easy stuff. But wow, indeed. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be seeing some more Dota 2, but Alliance, as you said, they've done it. I hope you've enjoyed the cast from me and Scant. We'll head over to a short break and then back to the panel.
E-gaming bets.